Okay, so this is a more mature version of what actually took place leading up to me coming back to America. The day after Christmas, December 26th, I start getting a lot of pain in my head and have no idea what's going on. So I moved to one city called Sucheon, and I go to a city called Kaifeng. And in Kaifeng, I had a coworker, this 58, 57-year-old white male who blows all his money importing American goods into his house. I'm talking about he has like any sort of like item like, Skippy peanut butter, he has that. That doesn't sound like a big deal to you, but in China, that's like 4 or 5 times the price of what it would be here in America. So he just blows all his money all the time. And this dude here is, we're gonna call him Mike. This guy, Mike, he likes to brag on how many women he's slept with. And, I'm just sitting here just listening to it. As men, we've all had our time and place when it comes to what women we've slain and whatnot. I'm just listening to this guy, but this is usually what he talks about. And it gets a little uncomfortable after the 4th or 5th time that you listen to a 30-minute conversation about this shit. Especially when he has herpes. It made me very cautious about what women I'm with when I'm out there. Because if this guy is getting a bunch of bitches, then do I really want what's available to me? The answer is no. So that's going to play a little bit later. So me, Mike, and our coworker who works at the university, a Chinese man who he pretty much helps us out, coordinates everything. We're all on this train between Kaifeng to another city. I forget the name of it, for about 2.5 hours. And Mike informs me that he is very upset with Bill Clinton because apparently he has his passport revoked because he has not been paying child support. So Bill Clinton did this thing called the Dead Be Dead Act, where if you don't pay your child support at a certain amount, they're not going to allow you to leave the country. So he's going off on a 2.5-hour tirade about how bad Clinton is. And it makes me a little bit uncomfortable, mainly because we're the only foreigners there, and this guy's loud as fuck, and he's actually yelling at Chinese people and shit. And these trains are fucking packed. I mean, yeah, you can probably beat 1 or 2 Chinese guys up, but there's fucking thousands of them. So I gotta listen to this guy talk about about how bad Bill Clinton is and paying and trying to pay off the fees for his child support so he can get his U.S. passport renewed. He actually even tried to decline, or not decline, but what do you say? What do the Facebook guys do? Where they are no longer U.S. citizens. So he tried to divorce his citizenship so he can just stay in China the whole time. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. You got to pay your taxes. You got to pay your whatever fees you owe, and then you can leave the country. So he actually ended up coming back to America maybe a week or 2 after I did. So now the pain's getting a little crazy, and I lose my heat and my lights for 4 fucking days in butt-fuck nowhere China, and I am probably the most depressed and irritated I have ever been in my life. Even worse than when I got hit with the cancer diagnosis. At least with that, I had a support team and people were around me. People came to see me the very same day I got hit with this. I got phone calls from everybody, texts from everybody, emails from a number of people. There, it was just me, in the dark, in the cold, in pain, by myself. So finally, one of the days within the Chinese Lunar New Year, because it runs over a number of days, the coordinator finally gets back and makes a day out for me so we can go to the hospital. And that was on a Saturday. I remember that. So we go to the hospital. They take an x-ray of me. Don't see anything. Take another x-ray of me. They see a mass in my face. They have no idea what took place. So for those who don't know, back in June of 2013, a guy on a motorbike hit directly in my face. Now, you would not believe I got cut up, but all this right here was open. It was wide open. Now, I can actually, it's insane. That's a whole other story. I thought that the pain that I was feeling was some sort of, residual from that. And they said, no, it was not. So I said, okay, well, what do you want to do about it? Saturday, mind you, they said, hey, come on Friday, we're going to have surgery. Okay, so that means, and I know nothing about the medical field, that means with no test, they're just going to crack open my fucking skull and take the tumor out. Well, they didn't even know it was a tumor at the time. They're just going to take out this mass that's in my face. So there's a couple of things that could have went wrong. One, because this tumor, now that I know, sits on my cranial nerve. So surgery is not an option. I can die on the table, or I can live at a very low quality of living. None of these are, attractive to me. Secondly, let's say they did take it out and they opened up the cancer. My cancer spread through my body. It still takes 6 to 7 months for me to recover inside of a hospital after such a major surgery like that, according to what they said. You can't just walk in China. Like, you have to have like a letter of invite to have a certain kind of visa and all this other shit. So if I was really messed up out there, a lot of my family members couldn't see me. Probably 1 to 3 of my friends would have the finances and availability to come and see me while I was in China. So I could have really been in a lot of trouble. So I made the decision. I was like, hey, I gotta go. I gotta go. I gotta go back home. So I've lost money because that was in February. And so I didn't get paid for January or February. And, I'm spending money. I'm pretty good with $1. So I'm not spending that much money. But at the same time, nothing's coming in. So the biggest thing I lose is the fact that I don't get my plane ticket ride back home. And that was a whole fucking bitch in and of itself. So you can't just walk out of China if you're on the Z visa, which is like the green card out there if you're a foreigner. So I'm asking people around like, hey, where can I buy a plane ticket to leave? To leave China, not to fly within, but to leave. And can I just do it online? Apparently, I'm sure this is not the case. I'm sure that I just had some bad luck. You can't. And so I'm asking this guy, Mike, hey, you know a number of girls. Can they help me get this plane ticket? So, Mike, 57, 50-year-old man, is fucking a college student, 17, 18, 19 years old. And one of them helps me find where a place to buy a plane ticket, where can I go? And so we go ahead and we do that. And I really want the Chinese coordinator to help me out because he's versed in this. He knows what he's doing. Here's the thing with him. He's trying to get married. And it doesn't fucking matter who he's marrying. Because within this time, he's had these like marriage dates where, if you're in your 30s or early 40s, you go to these like meetup places and you pretty much do speed dating in a way that results in marriage right away. And so he's already with like 2 girls. He's tripping out on a bunch of different things. I can't get in contact with this guy, but I got to get out of here. I got to get out of China. So if you don't know, all the problems I have is on the right side of my face. And I don't know if you can see this on this camera, but I have a fractured jaw at this time. This is all from China. Okay? I got a fractured jaw. So I'm scared to death that I'm going to get on a plane and because of the pressure, my face is just going to explode in a million pieces. Now, when I say that today, it sounds silly. And if you're hearing this today, it sounds silly. But if you're in an immense amount of pain, you have been sleeping well for 3 weeks straight, and you're highly irritable, you're not thinking very clearly. And I just wasn't really thinking very clearly. And not just because of the pain, the irritability from not having any hot water or lights for 4 days and the fucking cold ass part of China, but also because I'm taking all these different kind of fucking pain pills. I have no idea what this is doing to my body. I'm having issues with digestion. My bowels are not moving for a couple of days. I don't know why. I eat a good amount of fiber. So, excuse me, that's very, very strange to me. And so, you know, I'm taking things that are making me energetic, making me go to sleep, uppers, downers, lefters, righters, in-betweeners, whatever it is, I'm taking it to nullify this pain. So I'm hopped off on a bunch of fucking drugs all the time. I'm kind of high there was a good week I was high probably every day on this stuff, but there's no other options. So I'm having more difficulty, trying to get everything ready and get everything set. And one of the a friend of mine's, Chinese girl, not the best looker. She pretty much I would say blackmailed me, but her house nearby had lights and hot water, and it was pretty much implied that if I wanted to sleep over there, I would have to sleep with her physically. You know, not really my type, but hey, got me out of trouble. So I did that for 2 days, because otherwise it would have been 6 days of being in the cold. Finally, the hot water starts working again. I don't understand how, that is not, because it's not an old place. It's not a modern place. It's not very old. So they should really have like water heaters going on. And to me, I was just so upset with that house. The first house I had from the former city, my first city, had a bunch of cum stains on the wall. On the wall, facing the yard of the university. So, it went up to like waist high. So I'm pretty sure the other teacher before me was, just whacking off to all the Chinese girls. Hey, how's it going? One hand, whacking off the other. Because, it was a lot of semen. Like a lot. So I spent days trying to clean that fucking house up. I'm talking about the first one. All right. I'm trying to going back to a linear style of telling the story. So a couple of days with the girl, I take her out to eat, stuff like that, show my appreciation. Now here comes the big day. The big day for me to leave. Now I'm supposed to return my keys and return, this is pretty much my keys. I'm supposed to return my keys and head on out. And the coordinator said, hey, I'm going to call you a taxi. I'm going to be there at 9. And, we'll send you on your way to, back home. I said, thank you. Day of. Can't get in contact with him. My flight's about 3:30. Can't get in contact with this guy. Okay, 9 o'clock comes around. Not there. 10:30 comes around. I'm sweating right now because I have no idea how far, or if one of these taxi drivers start taking me for a loop to get to the airport. So I take all my stuff, and luckily I gave myself enough time to take a bus to the main city, and then from there go to the airport. So that's exactly what I do. I take a bus, I go to the main city, and I buy my ticket for the bus that goes to the airport. So I take this ticket. Everything's written in Chinese. I'm the only foreigner there. I show this ticket to a number of different bus drivers, because there's a whole league of buses out there. And so, some people point me to go left, some people point me to go right. And so I get to the bus. I've got, 2 bags, my laptop case, and my backpack. I travel light. And I show this guy. He looks at it for a good second. He's like, he tells me to go inside the bus. So I go inside the bus, and from what I've heard before, that takes maybe about an hour and a half to get to the airport. So I don't really know exactly where this is at, but an hour and 40 minutes passes, and I'm not seeing the airport in sight. And so I'm getting a little worried, like, hey, maybe The airport's coming up and I just don't know because I've never really been out that way. Come to find out that this bus and that fucking bus driver took me back to the city that I came from. So this killed all my extra time. Finally, by the grace of God, the coordinator gives me a phone call and he says, "Where are you?" I says, "I'm gone, dude. I told you my flight was at 3:30. It's like 12:15 right now." I was like, "I got to get to the airport." And luckily, because this is a national flight, meaning I'm going to go from one part of China to the other, and then from there is the international flight. I can be there, about an hour and a half before the flight takes off, before everything, before I'm really in trouble. So he gets on the phone with the taxi driver, and luckily he talked the price down, but it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get to the airport. So that means I'm going to get there like, I don't know, 1:20, 1:30. And that's if I'm lucky. That's if there's no traffic. There's no accident. So I am scared and upset at the same time. Because remember, I'm thinking my fucking face is going to explode. So I'm getting there and all I can concentrate, I'm just thinking, please God, let me catch this flight. Because there's no way that they're going to have enough people there for me to communicate what I need to communicate if that doesn't happen. Thankfully, got in. Everything was okay. I'm sweating like a fucking pig, but I'm very hungry now. I've got a couple minutes to spare. My flight was delayed by like an hour. So I'm thinking, hey, I got to get some food in me. So I'm thinking, I want something green, but I want some meat as well. So I ordered this thing called a beef salad. Now, when you order a chicken salad, right, it's a lot of lettuce, some dressing, some tomatoes, some other small vegetables, and chicken, yeah? When you order a salmon salad, it's some greens, some seasoning, some onions, and some salmon, right? Well, see, a beef salad in China is not that. A beef salad in China is pretty much like sashimi. It's just like raw meat that's warm. Okay? It's like they cut up a cow, right? And put the plate on top of the microwave in which they're warming up the regular food. And that's about how warm this meat is. I almost feel cannibalistic to eat meat that way. It's just kind of like, if this is the meat plate, and then serve it to you. So, a little upset with that because I can't eat this. I've had dog 2 times. I've had turtle, bear, frog. I had a live frog in Japan. I ate a live frog. All right. This is the first thing I really can't eat. I've had some pig's blood in Vietnam. This is the first thing I can't eat. And I'm irritated. I'm hungry. And I'm scared still. So I order, okay, time's coming up. Let me get an apple shake. So they give me an apple shake tea or whatever. And it's a bunch of old apples. It's just disgusting. So I'm on the verge of tears now. A lot of adrenaline's pumping in me. My pain meds are wearing off. And now it's time for me to go on this fucking plane. And I'm scared to death. So, I actually have to use the bathroom. I had to go number one, about 3 times in 20 minutes because just how scared I was. This is a different kind of fear. I've never felt that before. So everything's okay. Flew back here. My flight from Shanghai was smooth as can be. And my friend picked me up at the last minute and everything worked out. And now I'm here. So I hope you enjoyed this story. If there's one thing I've got in abundance, it's stories. So hey, you just let me know what you want to hear, and I'll tell you. But thank you, and thank every single person who's contacted me everyone who's pressed liked on one of my posts regarding my health situation, everyone who's texted me, emailed me, saw me in person. I knew you saw me in person, and if you're within California, you have no idea what that means to me. Alrighty, guys, I love you. Take care.